So yeah, after Drew come over a couple of weeks ago for advice on how to do his fucking show, sick as a dog, I disinfected my entire house. Didn't count on this son of a bitch licking the door handle on my fucking car. Fuck you, Drew. Here's your damn rant show, folks. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Film Rants. I am your host, E. Adam Thomas. Unlike the other pathetic wussies on this fucking channel, I can still do my show sick. Our film tonight is the second installment in celebration of the release of the new Godzilla film due out on May 16th. And this is Legendary Pictures' demo reel to show Toho that they can actually make a kaiju film, Pacific Rim. In the film, Earth is being overrun by gigantic monsters coming through a dimensional rift at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. The only thing protecting the population from absolute destruction are gigantic fighting robots called Jaegers, piloted by two individuals who have to link to the control systems through a neural bridge. Now, I'm not going to bother listing off the whole cast, because honestly, I didn't fucking care. The film does feature Torchwood's Bern Gorman, who played Dr. Gorman, or Gottlieb, and Ron Perlman as a shifty kaiju organ black marketeer, Hannibal Chow. As for the rest, it's a lot of American actors with shitty British accents, and a lot of British actors with shitty American accents. For all intents and purposes, this is an updated take on the old Ultraman paradigm. And visually, the film is awesome as fuck. But if you're looking for deep character development, or a unique and compelling storyline, you're better off just watching Ultraman, or hell, even Zone Fighters. One of the big issues with this film is that it is literally just 2 hours and 11 minutes of video game-styled eye candy, with no reason to give a flying fuck about any of the quivering meat sacks being smushed under the feet of the gross-looking kaiju. Look, when you have characters that you want people to give a fuck about whether or not they die, you might want to write them so that we have a reason to give a fuck whether or not they die. The only one I really felt any connection with at all was Rinko Kikuchi, who played Mako Mori. And not just because I have a fetish for hot Asian girls who can kick ass in martial arts scenes. Even then, though, the strength of a character is only impactful as long as there are strong enough characters to work off of. You could cut the romantic tension between her and her co-star, Charlie Hunman, whatever his name was, with a melting pudding pop. Oh, and if you're going to get an actor like Ron Perlman in your movie, use him! For fuck's sake, he's an awesome fucking actor. If you want a good, scenery-chewing anti-hero in your film, Perlman's a great one to get. But for God's sake, give him something to do besides sashay around like a posh, stereotypical crook from a cheesy episode of Knight Rider. He's a fucking actor, folks. Let him fucking act! Like I said, this movie is visually stunning, although a good portion of it is annoyingly obscured with CGI rain and smoke. That does tend to lend a lot of realism to the action, but if you're going to have giant monsters smashing up a metropolitan city, I'd like to at least be able to see the goddamn thing a little bit better. Oh, that and too many of the monsters look a lot similar to the creatures from J.J. Abrams films like Cloverfield and Star Trek. A little more variety would have been nice, you know? Although, it does fit within the genetically identical clone subplot, alright, so I can kind of forgive it. It's also an irritatingly derivative of other films. There are scenes towards the end especially that are literally ripped off from other films like Independence Day, and the end scene, where our two hero pilots emerge from the depths of the ocean in their escape craft, called back almost identically to GMK Giant Monsters All-Out Attack. The film's biggest redeeming quality, though, the dedication at the end to Ray Harryhausen and Ichiro Honda. Stamping over to the rantometer here. For artistic, I'll give it a 3. If for no other reason than the fact that some of the kaiju and most of the Jaegers look pretty fucking awesome. Sorry. Coolness, I will give it a 4, taking 1 away because you couldn't see the kaiju very well half the time. Originality, I'm sorry, you only get a 1, because the premise is one that, at the other side of the Pacific at least, is tried, true, and getting a little tired. Suckitude gets a 3, because it was predictable as fuck, and they completely wasted Ron Perlman. Total score, a 5. Somewhere between Godzilla vs. Megalon and Varan the Unbelievable. Next week, if I survive this fucking crud, we'll be looking at the previous attempt by an American filmmaker to put their mark on Japanese monster culture. Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin's 1998 version of Godzilla. And then in 2 weeks, our first brand new release here on Film Rants, Legendary Pictures' new 2014 version of Godzilla. If you have any opinions on my reviews, or about any of the upcoming films, comment here on YouTube below, or post a message to me anywhere on social media using the hashtag FilmRantsEAT. Meanwhile, I'm going to go boil my skull in a gigantic vat of Vicks Vapo Rub. Good night, everybody. And fuck you, Drew. I need some of this stuff.